So today I'm joined by Nuno at Clear IT Solutions. Hi, Nuno. Thanks for joining me.
Hello, Matt.
Hi there. So first off, let's give you a bit of a platform here. Tell us about your business and your role within it.
Okay. So I'm Nuno from Clear IT Solutions. So we're going to be almost 9 years old in August. We will be 9 years old. I'm in the IT industry for almost 20 years now. And what we do is we are what is called MSP IT provider, so a managed service provider in the IT space. So in a simple way, we are the external IT department of small and medium companies. So they don't have internal IT. They will give us a few pounds per month, and we help them with anything that is IT related, from basic stuff like my printer is not working to more complex stuff like moving to cloud solutions and stuff like that.
Fantastic. Okay, you've been in the program for about 90 days now, and we're one of our founding members, of course. What would you say is your favorite thing about total growth ownership?
What I like is quite hands-on, which for me, that I'm not a marketeer or a salesperson from my background, it's very, very useful, because you can read about a lot of things, you can buy books about marketing and sales and all of that, and you learn a lot about these things, but then when you need to put the things to work is when it becomes difficult, and I think TGO gave me that easy way to start executing things in a logic and things that make sense to me, not being a professional marketeer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. And I know that you're a relatively small team, aren't you? And I know that Jamie, who's a marketing exec in the company, has been in the program as well. Do you think it's helped him to give kind of structure and something for him to kind of focus on as well?
Yes, so he's an apprentice, so because we are Microsoft partners, he's doing the Microsoft Digital Apprenticeship, which is also good because there's also some theory training, and they need to do some exams and stuff like that. But the TGO gives him more the other bit that is not that technical. With the Microsoft, he learns about the coding, the HTML, and all the technical stuff. With the TGO, is more about like I said, the positioning, the content, the messaging, which I think is very important. And for me, is the most difficult thing in marketing is that, because anything else is technical, you can learn. Is not that difficult. It's not rocket science. But the other bit, the content, the positioning, the messaging, that is where I think the value comes from TGO.
Yeah, good insight. So tell us, where were you? Let's cast our minds back to before you joined the program. What kind of state were you in as a business when it came to marketing and sales? What was the setup like?
Yeah. So as I said to you, we are almost 9 years, and we grow the business by doing, business networking, the BNIs and all that stuff. So the word of mouth was where we went from 0 clients to where we are now. It worked. Don't get me wrong. It's a good way to do stuff, but after a certain point, you can't rely on just word of mouth. So you need to start having marketing processes and sales processes. So that was where I was when I found it, when I met you on LinkedIn. It was at the company. I think it reached a point of we need to now be professionals on doing the marketing and the sales. We can't just wing it and go to networking events and hope that things come up to us. So that was where I was, on trying to define the process, trying to define the strategies, trying to understand what's going to be our marketing strategy, because we didn't add a marketing strategy before. And also with all this change in the world, we were also realizing that going online is the future. People are doing less and less business on face-to-face. So having also that in mind, that we wanted to move to online, have an online presence. It was the two things that that made us, make this change.
Great. And how does that contrast to where you're at now? So I know that we've discussed some of the wins that you've been having recently, both in your marketing efforts and in the success that the business is enjoying as well. So tell us about how the business contrasts now with where it was before.
Yeah, so basically all our recent new clients, they come all from online strategy and events. So nothing was done from face to face or word of mouth. So they found us, which is good, which is what I think is important for us, is instead of us reaching them, is them finding us and then making business with us, because it's much easier when they already are aware of you and want to know more or do something with you. So that is the big change. I don't think we have reached the point that I want to, because I'm still learning. We're still doing the program, but I'm starting seeing some of the results coming in, and that is quite interesting, because first is very motivational, because you just see that, okay, I'm on the right path, I'm doing the things right, and it just gives you the willingness to carry on and put more effort and develop more digital assets and all these things that we discuss in the program.
Is there one particular kind of element or breakthrough within the program that you've noticed in the last 90 days? Maybe it was a bit of an epiphany, maybe it was a tactic or a strategy that's really kind of caught your attention and caused some of those wins that you've been having.
Yes, I think is that messaging, that positioning, that changed everything with us, because I think before we were just doing individual things, we're not being connected. It's the tactics and the tools. Yes, you can use the tactics and the tools, but you don't have the strategy. Then there's going to be disjunction. They're not going to be connected between these things, isn't it?
Yeah.
And with the TGO, I managed to now have that messaging, that positioning that now is uniform to the company. And then yes, I can use the tools and the tactics, but they are synchronized and they will bring the results together, which for me that is the most benefit from the TGO, is helping me to, it's basically like a glue, isn't it? Is making sure that we can connect all these things on the background and make sure that we get the right results.
And I know behind the scenes, you've got a big kind of rebirth, a rebranding that you're launching this year, and that's going to serve you really well. We've talked a lot about your new position and creating a competitionless offer that prospects just will feel foolish to turn down. I know that you've got big things ahead as well. It's fantastic to see. Listen, Nuno, I want to get your thoughts on, I'm sure you've worked with agencies in the past, marketing agencies, external consultants, and people who can help you to kind of do the stuff and kind of perhaps be your partner in delivery. How would you say, how are you experiencing the coaching versus that sort of environment? Because I know a lot of prospects of ours who might be looking at joining the program will be thinking, do I want to invest in getting a marketing agency to do it all for us? Do I really need to invest in us taking ownership of our systems and our destiny, if you like? How would you kind of talk about that?
Okay. I think probably is important to mention that we are quite a small company, so we don't have a huge budget to do stuff. Yes, I used agencies before and some consultants. I wasn't very happy because I think at that stage I was a little bit with the hands-off approach, that this is marketing, I don't know nothing about it, I'm just going to give this to these guys, they are the experts and they should make it work for me. Unfortunately, I think for the size of my company, it doesn't work like that. I think marketing needs to be done by us internally. So it needs to be driven by us. Yes, we need to have input from outside, but on a different level, not on hands of just they go, take your things, off you go, and now I'm just waiting for the results. So that's why I think this is it's quite helpful for me is because of that. Is because, you know, this approach, I'm in control of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm getting the feedback from you, from the, you know, the coach calls from the community. It's good to share and get other opinions and all of that. But in the end, I'm controlling everything and I'm learning how to do these things. And when you delegate, it's much better. It's much more efficient, and the results come, well, in my experience, come better than when you just hand off things to agencies.
That's great to hear. Okay, well, I mean, largely you said it all, Nuno, but if you were talking to somebody who was considering joining the Total Growth Ownership Program, what would be your advice to them right now?
I think that first they need to be on these hands-on things. So they need to be, you know, doing the marketing, you know, in some shape or form. Yes, I know that you have bigger companies that they have more than one person joining the group and they can delegate. But I think it needs to be someone that needs to put the effort and see the results. I think if they just come expecting that, you know, the results are going to come by that itself, no, it's not going to work. I think it's all of these things with coaching is sometimes people just expect that, you know, you just clap the fingers and the results come in, and it doesn't, isn't it? You need to put effort. You need to, you know, watch the videos, do the work, do the brainstorming, think about it, write things down, do version 1, version 2, version 3. Until you nail it, is a lot of repetitive things and a lot of redoing until you get where you are. So I think it's good if you are the marketing driven person in the company, because you're going to learn a lot.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's annoying that, isn't it? You have to do the work to get the results. It's funny how that works out. Yeah. Nuno, listen, that's been fantastic. Thanks so much for joining me today. And listen, I can't wait to see where we go together in the program. Best of luck.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.